welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa. Channel here is Melissa_Dunn6. I like playing with makeup, doing my makeup, reviewing new makeup, playing with old makeup, all that kind of stuff involving makeup. So if that interests you at all, feel free to subscribe, like, share, leave me some comments down below. I'd love to get to know you a bit more. I've been influenced. Yep. I just released a video on a few of the products that have been introduced this year and later last year that I've put on my 2024 wish list. In those products, I did mention the new Prada releases. I wasn't going to buy them, but just couldn't help myself. So today I'm going to be demonstrating the products I purchased from the new Prada Beauty collection. And we'll do a little wear test, get ready with me, whatever you want to call this. But we're playing with Prada today. I'll start off by saying these products are quite expensive. For 3 products, we've got $200 here. So this is very much on the higher end. Not the most expensive, right? Like Clé de Peau, I probably will never try because I'm not paying $200 for a foundation. But it's up there with the Tom Fords. More than Chanel, so it's definitely luxury. It is a fashion house, so I don't really expect the price point to be any less. But I was intrigued by Prada Beauty because unlike a lot of makeup from houses of fashion, they tend to be like these very soft washes of color, very like light, simple makeup, whereas Prada seems to be putting out more colorful eyeshadows. So I'm very excited for the eyeshadow palettes. The lipsticks, I'm a sucker for matte lipsticks, so I had to pick me up one of those. And the foundation facial products is like my favorite. I love trying on foundations and concealers. So I am very excited to test out these products today. I'm going to start with the eyeshadow palette since I like to primarily do my eyes before I do everything else. I currently only have skincare on and I did quickly just do my eyebrows. So Prada Beauty Dimensions Multi-Effect Refillable Eyeshadow Palette retails for $80. Mind you, the one with the actual container is $80, but you can purchase the refills, which are just a little insert with the colors. Those retail for $65. So if you want to splurge on just one of the palettes and then just purchase the refills and you can just intermingle them, you could probably just pop in the refills into like an empty Z palette if you have any. So that's just a thought. Let's see here. They are described as an eye palette inspired by the iconic prints from the house archives with a unique set of 3 sophisticated neutrals and a single eccentric accent shade. They come in a variety of different colors. So basically, as they stated, they're neutrals and each of them have like a pop of color, which I appreciate. I picked up the Color Story Poetry. I was debating between Poetry and Profusion. But I just feel like in my personal collection, I'd get more use out of Poetry. Profusion has more like grays and a lime green, which looks beautiful. But yeah. So this is the outer packaging. Very beautiful, very luxurious, which you would assume by that price point. Like, I believe this is real metal, not acrylic. It's not super heavy, but it's got weight to it. It's like a light gold with a silver in the Prada logo there. You open it, you get a mirror there. It does bring 2 applicators. A lot of people don't like those applicators, but that's fine. And in this palette, you have like this sparkly pink shade, this neutral sort of light tan shade, a turquoise, and a matte brown. Alright, I've zoomed you in as close as I can to the eyeshadow palette. I don't have individual shade names, so I will go based off of how Prada is describing them. The brown shade is considered a hyper matte. It's very smooth. Definitely like a red undertone to this brown. The larger triangle here is considered a satin. I pronounced that funny. Satin. The pinkier shade here is a metal foil. It's beautiful. And the pop of color here is a soft matte. I guess I'll take it over my necklace. These are the four shadows swatched. Very warm color story now that I look at it. Very pretty though. I'm gonna prime my lids with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. I like this one, especially when I'm gonna go in with a little bit of color, because it does have a bit of a tint to it. So I'll apply a little bit, then I can blend it out with a brush. Going in with this sort of like fluffy flat brush, I'm gonna take the satin and work that sort of in the crease first. So I always like to just pat color down first where I want it, and then start blending it. This shade is a bit peachier than it looks in the pan. Very pretty though. And it's a very soft satin. So far, nice pigmentation and super easy to blend. Buildable, I'd say. Going in with a very similar brush. So that first one, it's sort of a flat brush, sort of a blending brush. I'm going to go in with the Hyper Matte shade. I was sitting here a minute debating what sort of look I wanted to go for. And I think I'm going to do sort of like a cut crease situation. I want that teal turquoise to be like the primary color on the lid. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Hyper Matte, which is that brown shade, and also blend it sort of in the crease, just not as high up as that initial color. So I will start stamping it and start blending. It looks much darker in the pan than it applies to the eye. It has sort of a reddish undertone. I don't know if this is going to make sense, but it's giving me like Dr. Pepper vibes. Not a bad thing. I don't have a lot of browns like this, I don't think. You're gonna keep just building it up to how you want, which I'm really enjoying about these eyeshadows. They are building upon themselves really well, not blending away, not looking patchy. Like, I'm fine with it not showing up super dark on the eye upon first application, but if I can build upon it, I really enjoy that sort of eyeshadow formula. Going back with the first brush and going in more with that satin shade, just gonna blend right above, sorry, with my mirror, right above, just to make sure everything is seamless, and bring more of that peach back because it did disappear a little bit. And I do bring my eyeshadow pretty high up because with hooded eyes, you don't get a lot to work with on the eyelid, so most of your space is above that crease. Need some micellar water on a Q-tip. I'm just gonna clean up the lid a little bit. I really want that turquoise to pop. Taking a flat packing brush, I'm just gonna take more of that concealer and apply it to the area I cleaned up. This doesn't have to be perfect because you can always apply shadow where you removed it. Taking one of my favorite brushes, I'm going in with a Sonia G Worker 3 brush. So these are natural hair, so they grip on to pigment a little bit more. It's, again, sort of flat but fluffy, but it will do a good job really packing on color. So going in with the soft matte shade now. How pretty that is. Going to just pat that on the area I cleaned up. Wow, that's applied. I didn't even have to dip back in. Look how beautifully that applied. Super opaque and pigmented. I really like that. I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of the Hyper Matte and just blend the two together. Next, I'm gonna move on to foundation and base. I'll come back to the eyes. They're not complete yet, so don't be scared. The foundation retails for slightly better than the eyeshadows, $70. Also refillable packaging. The refills, let's see how much they retail for. $55. That's not terrible. So if you just want to skimp out on the holder, get yourself the refill. It's called the Reveal Skin Optimizing Refillable Soft Matte Foundation. All right, so 4 says a skincare foundation that refines the skin in 3 dimensions, including tone, luminosity, and texture to reveal soft filter skin in real life. Coverage medium, finish matte, formulation liquid. They go on to say this soft matte foundation delivers medium coverage and transfer resistant wear for up to 24 hours. I like that they say transfer resistant as opposed to proof, because you know there's a safety net there. Like they're not promising you that it's not going to come off, but it shouldn't. The breathable and buildable formula with broad spectrum SPF 17. So I wonder if this foundation will have flashback since it has SPF in it. Sunscreen improves the look of skin tone, enhances skin's natural radiance and hydration, and visibly refines skin texture. I don't really care to have sunscreen in my foundation. I put on sunscreen as a part of my skincare routine, so that really isn't a buying point for me. But they make it a note to mention that. This is the box it comes in. The boxes feel very nice. I know some people like to review foundations without using primers, but I like to use a primer because that's how I wear my makeup in real life. So if the makeup's not going to work with how I do things, it's just not going to work for me. My skin is normally on the normal combo, but today it's very dry. My acne is very dry. I did my best to exfoliate and prep my skin today, but just to safeguard myself, I'm going to go in with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, which shouldn't alter it too much because this one is more of a moisturizer. And I will note, this foundation, first ingredient is dimethicone, which is a silicone. So you may not want to use a water-based primer if you are going to be using this. So like Milk Hydro Grip is one of my favorite primers, but that is a water-based primer. So it may cause the foundation to do weird things. And since this is described as a matte, I don't want to look crusty. Yeah, I squirted 2 pumps on the back of my hand. It's pretty liquidy, not super liquidy. It's taking its time running down, but it's not thick by any means. Has a fragrance to it. Smells really nice, actually. Fragrance doesn't bother me too much. I've never noticed fragrance breaking me out. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and apply it with a brush. I think the color looks good. I always try to match more so to my neck because my face is very different than the rest of my body. I do have like very mild rosacea and acne, so my face is more red than my body. My body, I don't know. I have a tough time with undertones. I can't tell you if it's neutral, olive, yellow, I can't tell you. Okay, the 2 pumps are already gone, so I'm gonna need a little bit more. Upon first impression, I'll say it's about a light medium coverage. I can still see all my acne. It did sink right into the skin. It looks very thin. You can't really even tell I have foundation on. But let me go ahead and apply a bit more and cover the rest of my face. That is 1 layer all over. I will say this looks so beautiful. So I feel a little bit better about spending $70 on a foundation. Like, look at my forehead. You really can't see the foundation at all, which I think is what we go for when we're wearing foundation. We want it to sort of perfect certain areas, but don't want it to look like a mask. My acne, it did tone down the redness a little bit, but you can still very much see it, which I'm fine with. I have no problem spot concealing. But let's see if it's buildable. I'll see if I can cover the acne with another layer of the foundation. Just like half a pump more, and I'm gonna see if I can cover this acne. Definitely buildable. And still looks very light on the skin. Just still peeking through a little bit, but I honestly have realistic expectations when it comes to acne and foundation. Foundation is not a miracle. I'm always gonna have texture, and because acne has like such a weird tone to it, it can turn like a bit grayish, which I guess a green color corrector would help with that, but I'm okay with my skin looking like this. Yeah, this foundation is beautiful. I don't know how it wears. We'll see. I'll wear it for a few hours. Today is the Super Bowl, or as I like to call it, Usher's concert. So I'll be having it on for a few hours. But yeah, I can already tell you, I definitely recommend this. This is beautiful. That's the only base product they came out with, so that's all I have to test for that. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish up the rest of my face with other products. This is the new concealer from Fenty. While the concealer sits for a little bit, I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sun Kissed Glow Bronzer. I have mine in the shade Fair. Just add some warmth to the skin. And just set a little bit with the Pat McGrath Blurring Under Eye powder. I'm not going to set my whole face, just under the eyes. And a little bit here in the forehead and around the nose. For blush, I'm going to go in with Clinique's Pink Honey Pop. Getting back into eyes, I'm going to go ahead and take the Hyper Matte shade with a very thin flat brush and just press that along the lower lash line. I'm only going to bring it to about the center of the eye. Taking a pencil brush, I'm going to take the satin shade and just blend that out a little bit. And this one I'll run across the entire lower lash line. I'm just going to go in with that same pencil brush, and now I'm going to take the metallic or foiled metallic shade and put that in the inner corner. Sometimes what I like to do when I do like cut creases, the inner corner shade, I kind of just bring it along that cut crease line. The last product I picked up from the Prada line is one of their lipsticks. They have two different formulations, sort of playing along with the eyeshadows. They have a soft matte formulation and a hyper matte formulation. I got one from the soft matte variation in the shade Meranti, I believe that's pronounced. Sephora says about the lipsticks: a refillable soft matte lipstick that delivers buildable coverage, lightweight feel, and a diffused matte finish that lasts up to 6 hours. This lipstick is formulated with microfit technology, glides on seamlessly, and feels weightless all day long. The shades are made with a white base and only 3 pure color pigments to replicate the luminosity of Prada nylon fabric in soft diffuse colors designed to flatter a range of skin tones. The lipsticks with the packaging cost $50 and the refills are $40. The lipstick has some weight to it, very luxurious. Solely silver on this one, so no gold in the packaging like the other two. Let me see if I can remove this. Pretty simple to remove. The refill or the lipstick snaps right back in. Twists up. It's got like a very interesting shape to it, not your typical lipstick shape. Which makes sense, I guess it's Prada, so they did a little triangle. That's cute. Has a Prada emboss in it with a sort of texture to the body of the lipstick. It has a very light floral fragrance to it. I just cleaned my lips off because they were a chapstick on there. I don't love the shape. It's kind of awkward. Very creamy, very creamy. Sorry, it's so awkward putting lipstick on and talking. That's the lipstick. Very pretty color. I'm happy with the shade I chose. Very smooth on the lips, very creamy. Even though it's soft matte, super moisturizing. And my lips are pretty chapped right now. And it's not emphasizing like the dry skin. I'm going to go ahead and apply liner and lashes off camera. And I'll be right back to share with you my final thoughts. So, $200 later, what are my thoughts? My final thoughts are the products are beautiful. I didn't have any doubts. The foundation is phenomenal. Like, you can't even see it on the skin. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything at all. It's supposed to be a soft matte, but probably due to my skincare, it's looking a bit more natural, a little bit more radiant, which I don't mind at all. I'd rather it be on the oilier side than completely dry and flaky. Coverage is about, I'd say about a medium, which I'm comfortable with it. Let's see, the eyeshadow palettes, $80 is a lot of money. Do I think these are beautiful? Yes. Very pigmented, blend together easily, not patchy at all. A lot of times if you have bright colors like this, after a while, you'll see it sort of start to separate, sort of become patchy. That's not happening here at all. And I've been filming for quite a while now. Packaging is very beautiful. Can you get this sort of eyeshadow and another less expensive brand? Probably. But I think if you are into luxury makeup, if you've been wanting to try luxury makeup, but every other brand is just a little too neutral, a little too soft, I say go for it. They're $80, but again, you can purchase the little refills. You don't have to purchase the components. The component is beautiful though. I love the coloring. It's very dirty already though. Fingerprints everywhere. But yeah. If you're into, so to conclude, if you're into luxury makeup, I would recommend it, especially if you're someone who's into color, different textures. Very fun eyeshadow. It's very beautiful. The lipstick, the component, again, beautiful packaging, feels luxurious, heavy. Another refillable product. I only have one shade, but this color I will get tons of use out of. It's absolutely beautiful. I love matte lipsticks. This one is very creamy. Feels very moisturizing, a soft matte. Do I think it's worth it? Probably not. You can definitely find this sort of formula in a way less expensive price range. But again, concluding with all of these products, essentially I share the same thought. If you like luxury makeup and you want to try Prada Beauty, I don't think you'd be disappointed. Beautiful lipstick, like I stated. I just don't think the formula is anything special. And those are my final thoughts of Prada Beauty. No regrets. I absolutely love how my makeup turned out today. I will definitely get more wear out of these products. Videos and supporting my channel really means a lot to me. I hope to grow this channel a lot more, interact, and sort of build my own community here on YouTube. Let me know in the comments, are you picking up or have you picked up the product collection? What are your thoughts? What products do you hope they'll come out with? One thing I will know, I'm very happy they kind of started off small, because if this is $200, imagine they would have released like a 50 product line. I can't afford that. But maybe next they should release a concealer, because the foundation, I'm telling you, is super beautiful. I'm very impressed. So I'd like to see a concealer from Prada. But yeah, thank you for your time. I hope you have a great day. Take care. See you next time.